Helping to lead the survivors of the station is a combat patrol of the Adeptus Mechanicus led by this tech priest. He is in turn leading a group of servitors, 2 of them armed with plasma cannons, as well as a 10-man squad of Skitarii Vanguard armed with rad carbines with 1 arc rifle and taser goad and arc pistol as well. Leading the PDF survivors is a Primaris Psyker, Valens, who has managed to rally the survivors. He's used his psychic powers of mental fortitude in order to help rally them, as well as Night Shroud in order to keep them safe and try to keep them together and hold long enough and retake enough of the station for them to be evacuated. Aiding him in this has been the Reverend Farouk, who has been lending spiritual guidance and inspiration to the troops as they attempt to evacuate the station. A single squad of PDF troopers, 10-man, armed with las guns, with 1 plasma gunner in them, and the sergeant with a chainsword. A second PDF squad, led by a sergeant, all with las guns with the lone plasma gunner in their midst. And a third squad of PDF troopers, again with 1 plasma gunner and the rest carrying las guns. And a single special weapons squad with 3 flamethrowers in it to finish off the detachment. Our mission today is the combat patrol mission, Run Them Down. It is from the Plague Purge Crusade mission pack. You can see the setup. And here is the mission briefing. A few things that note on this is the fact that the Spear Thrust mission roll, battle rounds 1 and 2, the attacker adds 1 to the advance and charge rolls. Hold the line during rounds 1 and 2. The defender can use the Overwatch stratagem without spending any command points. Also, each time a combat attrition test is taken for a unit in the defender's army, it can ignore any modifiers. If it could already ignore modifiers, it automatically passes morale tests instead. And since it's from the Plague Purge Pact, it has access to the Plague Purge assault stratagems as well. And it's a pretty basic rundown. And let's see what happens. Leading the incursion into the defense platform is Usharabi the Winnower, Chaos Lord. Also is a squad of Death Shroud Terminators known as the Gallows Men. And rounding out the force is a squad of Death Guard known as the Oarsmen, because they are the ones paddling the Ship of Death. So from our last game, you gained a requisition point. Do you want to share with us what you spent that requisition point on?
At the moment, that's been saved in the pool.
Okay. And then you also had a unit, the Gallows Men, the Death Shroud Terminators. They had earned enough experience points to gain a battle honor. What battle honor did you decide to give them?
Since they've advanced to the Bloodied rank, they are now Fleet of Foot, a squad trait.
Which does what?
It adds 1 inch to their normal movement and 1 to their charge and advance rolls.
Okay, pretty good for slow-moving Terminators to suddenly get a nice little boost. All right. And with that, we're going to start this battle. All right, and here is the battlefield. This here is an objective. We have down the way another objective, and another objective. There are 4 objectives. There are also, as some of you may have noticed, skull piles of bone. The Imperium can spend an action burning them, and then they're just gone, and they gain 1 victory point. Death Guard, on the other hand, are fully capable of also spending an action on those piles, resurrecting the dead, bringing them back in the form of zombies and poxwalkers that can then be used to help overrun the station and also provide them with 1 victory point. And now we're about ready to begin. We're going to do deployment, and we'll meet you back after that. So the Imperial forces have deployed and will be going first. Now, we normally would start off, since we are using 2 different patrol detachments, with 1 command point. However, since he has 4, the Death Guard currently have 4 crusade points, I will be gaining 2 command points right off the bat to help balance this out. So I'll be starting off with 3 and then going to 4. The Death Guard have deployed as well. As you can see, some of them obviously came into the station off of the drop pod, and they're making their way through. And what was their secondary objective they chose?
Our agenda has been chosen to be turn their hope to rot. We're targeting your Primaris Psyker as our target of opportunity for this mission.
And we're about to begin, so hold on and we'll get started with turn 1. All right, so first turn movement, saw the Skitarii Vanguard advancing on the 1 objective. The Servitors and the Tech Priests shifted positions. The 1 squad stayed back. The Special Weapons Squad, the 1 Guard Squad advanced up alongside Reverend Farouk, leading them to try to grab that 2nd objective. Meanwhile, Psyker Valiant is staying behind cover along with this squad providing Overwatch, and we're about ready to start the psychic phase. All right, so Valiant is going to attempt to cast or use his psychic powers to put Night Shroud on that advanced infantry squad out there, making them harder to hit. And here he goes. He succeeds. You roll under or over? He fails. He is, he's just a little too shaken up from previous events. So with his efforts failing, mostly because he's been spending most of his time trying to get the troops rallied from the horror that started this campaign, he fails, and we're going to move on to the shooting phase. So right off the bat, we have this 1 squad setting fire to the bone pile, earning 1 victory point, and preventing zombies from being raised up in their midst. Next up, we have the Servitors, guided by the Tech Priest, who are going to open fire down the corridor at the Gallowsmen, Death Shroud Terminators, advancing on their fellows. And let's get to that real quick. The plasma cannon each one gets D3 shot, or will be opening up.
Should be D3. They'll be, since we're under, you gotta roll.
So they will be getting 6 shots with the plasma cannon. None of them are overcharged. Normally they'd be hitting on a 5, however with the priest biome, they're going to be hitting on 4s. And here they come. However, there's a slight barricade in the way, so that would be what, -1?
Light cover? Yeah.
So back to hitting on 5s. We score 1 hit. Strength 7.
To toughness 5, so 3s.
And a wound.
Alright.
-3, so
We will take our 4+ invuln save.
4 up invuln. And 1 of the Terminators is wounded. The Skitarii are going to open up. They are going to be +1 to hit due to their command. And I'm spending a command point to use enriched rounds, so they're going to be dealing wounds automatically on a 4 up instead of just a 6 up with their radium weapons. and they are going to open up on the gallowsmen that are advancing on them. So we're going to start off with the shots from the radium carbines.
You are shooting through light cover.
Yep. So ballistic skill would be 3 up, however it would go to 2 up, but light cover back to 3 up. However, our weapon skill is only going to be 5. So 3 ups, hit, and we pull out the misses, like so, and 4 or better automatically wound. So hold on. Let's go with, we are looking at 10, 11 wounds so far at no AP, 11 wounds so far, and then add 2 more. So 13 wounds done to the Terminators so far.
Alright. 2 up armor saves. They made every single one.
Not a single wound done. However, then the arc rifle fires. 1 hit. Doesn't wound. So that does it for their shooting. So with no clear targets, the PDF forces and the Mechanicus forces are just continuing to hold their positions and await the inevitable Death Guard onslaught. So the Death Guard have advanced up to this objective from further inside the station, followed by the Death Shroud Terminators and Lord Usharabi, the Winnower, are also did not advance but walked right up to the barricade that the Imperials had set, and we're now about to start the shooting phase.
So we have spent a command point on the Death Shroud Terminators, the Gallowsmen, to give them overwhelming generosity, adding 6 inches to the range of their Plague Spur gauntlets. They are now going to be targeting the squad in the back that is under the effect of Night Shroud. Now, Plague Spur gauntlets are auto-hit weapons, so they'll be able to ignore the Night Shroud's effects. They each do a d6 number of shots.
Okay, so how many shots are going into the poor squad that just set that thing on fire?
So, we have 18 shots that are coming out from the
Okay.
4 Plague Spur gauntlets in the unit.
Okay.
Now, these were auto-hitting.
Okay. And they'll be wounding on what? 3s?
Strength 3 only, so it will be on 4s at this range.
Now they're a plague weapon, so you'll be re-rolling 1s to wound, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So they're being hit with basically a big spray of acid and disease and microbes and bugs that are coming out of the hoses attached to your gauntlets. So go ahead to roll the wound.
So, out of 18,
And what is the AP on this?
the AP on those are 0.
Okay.
So 3 miss outright, and we have 2 plague weapon, 4 miss outright, sorry, and we have 2 plague weapon rerolls, which both succeed, leaving us with 14 saves that need to be made on those PDF troopers.
All right, here come 14 saves. We make 1, 2, 3, 4, and you said 14.
Yep.
So with 14, that sees that squad wiped out. They're just washed away by the filth and corruption of the Death Shroud Terminators, known as the Gallowsmen. So he has declared the Gallowsmen are going to try to charge across the station at the Special Weapons Squad, while the Usharabi, the Winnower, is going to make an effort to try to reach the Skitarii. However, this scenario is rather unique. It allows me to have both of those units fire Overwatch without spending command points, because they're standing their ground. So we're going to go first with the Mechanicus attempting to finish off, or to kill off, Usharabi the Winnower. So we've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 24, and rolling to hit. 6 is hit, and they will auto wound.
Yep.
So there we go.
I see 1.
1 hit and auto wound. And then the arc rifle scores a hit. Does not. Well, we'll spend. No. So we have 1 wound so far, and then the arc pistol missed.
So 1 2+ armor save is passed.
All right. Now that's the Overwatch for them. Do you want to roll Usharabi's charge roll, see if he gets in right away?
Yes, we will do so. So, he has a charge of 2d6, but he adds 1 due to the mission scenario.
Due to the mission scenario, he adds 1 to his charge roll.
So, we would have 8, but it's up to 9.
9 inches will be more than sufficient to see that Usharabi, the Winnower, is in contact with the Mechanicus. And from there, we're going to go to the Overwatch of the Spectre. So from behind their barrels, they are also firing Overwatch. They're going to start off with las guns. 6 las gun shots, 1 hit, and wound on the Terminators. And then we're going to spend a command point to re-roll 1 of those. So we have 11 hits from the flamethrowers. So 1 wound so far, followed by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 wounds. 7 armor saves to be made by the Death Shroud Terminators.
All right, and they pass all of them again.
Okay.
A lot of 2s in there, though.
Yeah, not a single one. Wow. All right, let's see if they make their charge.
All right, they'll be rolling 2d6, adding 1 to that range from the scenario, and 1 because they're fleet of foot.
Okay.
So an 8 gets pushed up to a 10.
All right, and they are going to be able to make it in. And so we're going to start with Usharabi the Winnower versus the Skitari.
He'll be using his Ferryman's Scythe, using its Scythe mode.
Okay.
That gives him 3 attacks per his normal attack roll. So, that is a grand total of 15 swings he'll be making.
All right, 15 swings on the Skitari Vanguard, who are currently weapon skill 5 due to their use.
Now, he will be hitting on 2+.
You do realize you are -1 to your strength?
Yep, due to the radiation.
Radiation, yep. And -1 to your toughness as well. So.
Yep, that'll come into play on the next set of rolls here after this one.
And
So, we're hitting on 2s. We miss with 1.
1 out of 15.
So, that gives us
14.
14. Now, our strength would be 4 up to 5 with a scythe, but back down again due to radiation to 4.
So 3s to wound.
Rerolling 1s because this is a plague weapon.
Okay. Two rerolls.
My dice are hot tonight. That is 14 AP -1 saves that need to be
Not
made.
1, 2. Wow. 6, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14. 6 up saves. And we make a grand total of 1. So that squad is cut to pieces by Ushirabi, who then is going to do what?
He will consolidate towards the nearest unit as is standard, which
Okay.
is 3 inches towards the servitors.
All right. So he will consolidate just on the other side of the servitors and their defensive line. Over here, we have the Terminators. The Gallows Men are going to begin.
We are going to start off with the champion, who
Okay.
has the Reaper of Glorious Entropy. Now, he'll be hitting on 2+ with this weapon, with his 5 attacks.
Okay.
He misses 2 of them.
Okay, 3 hits.
Now, his strength on these are strength 8, as it's a ×2 weapon.
So twos to wound,
That
and
is-
AP is...
AP is -3.
So 3 guys are dead, and then the others?
The other 2 Death Shroud Terminators in the Gallowsman squad will be using their Man Reapers in safe mode, giving them 2 attack rolls per normal attack, for a grand total of 8. There we go. Per guy. So the first guy swing. These will also be hitting on 2s. It's with 7. And this will be strength 5. Since they're within contagion range, they're reduced to toughness 2. So 2s, I believe.
Okay.
And that is another 7 from the first Terminator.
That wipes out the 6-man squad. They're already gone. So you will advance right into the squad right next to them. And that concludes the first turn for the Death Guard. So in the movement phase, the 1 squad fell back away from the Terminators. The priest, however, Reverend Farouk, inspired by religious fervor or perhaps insanity, is moving up to engage. Meanwhile, the servitors are preparing to engage Lord Ushirabi. And we start off with the psychic phase. Well, Primaris Psyker Valiant cannot allow this to stand, so he is summoning all the power of the warp that he can at the moment. He's thinking real hard, and he's cast Smite and gets it off for 2 mortal wounds to the Terminators, which will see the 1 Terminator drop, and he is so inspired by that. However, the squad knows they cannot let the brave preacher, Reverend Farouk, fight it out alone. So they have decided they're going to gun down those Terminators. And after all, these awful Terminators may have even been at Cadia, so they're going to use vengeance for Cadia. So they are opening up at close range. First off, they're firing with the plasma gun, rapid firing. Re-rolling to hit. And manages to miss every single shot. However, then we have the las guns. The las guns open fire. And they are re-rolling to hit. Which is important, because they need that. They have 10, 11 hits. 7. Wounding on 5s. That's 5 wounds so far. However, 7 wounds on the Terminators.
All right. As these are las guns, I don't believe you have any AP coming my way.
There is no AP coming your way.
So more 2+ armor saves from the gallows. And lo and behold, 1 wound has gotten through.
One of the Gallowsmen takes a wound. However, the Ministorum priest, waving the bones of Saint Ched, takes his autogun and opens fire. And scores 2 hits on and wounds the Death Shroud in front of him.
Unfortunately, it is deflected by the Terminator armor plating.
Over here, led by the Tech Priest, 2 plasma cannons are going to open up. Spending a point to command reroll one of them. So one gets 3 shots and the other one gets 2 shots. So 5 plasma cannon shots are going into the enemy. And we have 2 hits with 2 wounds.
We will be going with the 4+ invuln save.
4 up invuln.
1 fails.
So he takes a wound. And then it comes time to declare charges. Now, the servitors are actually going to charge led by the Tech Priest. Did you wish to fire Overwatch with your Lord of Contagion?
Unfortunately, the only ranged weapon he has is his grenade.
Okay.
So we'll just let him come in.
Okay. The charge is a whopping 3 inches, which is enough as they come over the barricade or kind of burst the barricade aside to get at him. The Tech Priest comes in. We'll spend our last command point to re-roll that because, yes, he rolled double 1s. And he's in. The Priest, on the other hand, we are facing a different dilemma. The Priest, well, tactically, it makes no sense. However, this is narrative gameplay. What would a psychotic, fanatic, Imperial priest do, Holty?
Charge.
He would charge. So we're going to declare a charge there. And we're in. You're not going to overwatch him. Nope, you just want to cut him down by the scythe. So we have a fierce fight going on here. The first fight we're going to do is going to be over here, where the servitors are going to attack your lord. So we have 2 servitors with just their regular arms, and 1 hits but doesn't wound. Then we have 2 of them with servo arms swinging in. One hit, and he is strength 6.
To toughness 5.
Okay, so a 3.
However,
That'll get him at minus.
what was the
2? Minus 2.
what was the die roll?
What was it? Oh, 3.
Unfortunately, my warlord trait is hulking physique. A 1 to a 3 on a wound roll auto fails.
So a 3 will fail automatically because of your warlord trait.
Correct.
Okay, because he has hulking physique, which I did not realize, which is Well, sometimes you run across that. So nothing happens there. However, then we go to the Tech Priest Engine Seer. He is going to swing with his... He has 2 attacks base. And yeah. He's going to swing once with his axe, and he can make 1 attack with the servo arm. So with the axe, he swings. He hits. He is strength 6. He wounds. -2.
Alright, that is a 4+ save either way.
Gets through, does 2 damage. Normally, however, yours will knock it down 1, so he's down. He's taken 2 points of damage now. He then swings with the servo arm. He hits. His strength is 8. And yeah, we're gonna... And he wounds. At -2.
Once again, another 4-up save.
Cannot see what the dice result are, so... 2.
That fails.
So he takes... Normally he'd take 3 damage, however, instead he takes 2, so he's taken 4 wounds.
Yeah. Reduced due to the disgustingly resilient rule inherent to the Death Guard.
However, normally we'd go on to the next fight, but this is a video, and we're just going to show the themed fight as Ushirabi, the winnower, is beaten, getting pounded a bit, feel a little grumpy. He turns on his attackers. Let's just see what happens when he swings back. And how is he swinging back, and against who, versus which units?
Alright, he's going to once again choose to use his Ferryman Scythe in Scythe mode, granting him extra attacks.
Okay.
He is going to devote 8 of those attacks against the servitors.
Okay.
And the remaining 7 will then go follow on to the tech.
He's got 15 base... How many attacks does he have base?
5 base attacks.
Okay, 5
the Ferryman
base.
Scythe is a relic, which upon its Scythe mode of use grants 3 attacks, or 3 hits per normal attack.
3 hits per normal attack, but you
3
still only
hit
get
rolls.
5 attacks.
Right here. Make 3 hit rolls instead of 1.
Make 3 hit roll. Okay, instead of 1 when you're using the scythe. So that's how he's getting. Okay, so the relic, it doesn't provide 3 hits. It's 3 hit rolls.
Correct.
For every attack. So that's how you're getting 15, for those of you who are wondering. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and
The
swing.
oddballs you find in the Death Guard rulebook, if you're looking, is that Man Reapers and other scythes tend to have that split to their rules on how they swing.
Okay.
So, against these servitors, that will be 8 attacks.
Okay.
Hitting on 2s. Now
Now you're getting your 1s.
3
5.
of those. So only 5 get through.
Okay.
Now, in Scythe mode, we actually have a lower strength bonus and AP than we do with the
Okay.
Fleet mode. So we're only swinging at strength 5, but your servitors are within contagion range, reducing their toughness.
2, so you're going to be wounding on 2s.
Alright. And as it is a plague weapon, we reroll 1 for force. So, 4
get through.
saves at -1.
All right. At -1. Make me look things up. So they have a 4-up normal save. They'll go to a 5-up. And they make 1. So 3 of them are killed.
The remaining 7 attacks will be attempting to go at the priest.
Okay. At the
Dave?
Tech Priest. Okay, go ahead and swing versus the Tech Priest.
Once again, still following Scythe rules, so less strength and less AP.
Okay.
All hits, since they're hitting on 2s, unless you have a rule otherwise.
I do not.
So this would be a strength 5 to toughness.
3.
All
So
right.
3s. Reducing the strength down to 3, sorry.
So with the rerolling of 1, that will be 7 saves that need to be made at an AP of -1.
7 4-up saves. Okay. 1, 2, takes 3 wounds. He is still alive. He's got 1 wound left.
And that will be it
For that.
Ushirabi.
And then we'll go over to the priest. So Reverend Farouk has actually dropped his autogun, pulled out his chainsword, and is going to attempt to chop these guys to bits. He swings. He scores 3 initial hits. However, his zealotry allows him to reroll. Doesn't make any difference. And he's swinging with that chainsword. And he manages to inflict a wound as he slams it into the visor of one of the Death Shroud, the Gallows Men,
All right.
screaming his defiance as he does so.
Now,
No AP.
No AP on the chainsword.
Yep.
So that is a standard 2+ save, which is actually failed.
He fails it, stabs him, runs him through.
So the second of the Death Shroud Terminators is looking pretty beat up as he's down to 1 wound remaining.
Badly wounded Death Shroud Terminator responds with...
Swings back, and for a change of pace, we'll show you the other rules that can be seen on sites like the Man Reaper. The Cleave attack.
Okay. Now, I want to point out it is a relic that gives you those 15 attacks, and it is not actually a crusade relic. So for people who are watching are saying, well, crusade allows you to be really, really broken. Actually, the crusade things that have been added to this game so far really haven't made that much of a difference.
They can be pretty tame compared to some of the stuff you can find in the lists if you take specific options. In this case, 6th Company is required to have that relic.
Yeah. So go on ahead and roll your piercing, or is it piercing or
Cleaving attack.
cleaving?
Now this one has higher strength, higher AP, and more damage, but it only does his normal number of attacks, and also takes a penalty to its hit roll.
Okay.
So we have 4 swings that are reduced to a 3+ to hit.
Okay. Rolling to hit. Oh, 1, 1, 2, and 6. And there you finally start rolling bad.
Yep.
Scored 1 hit.
So our strength is 7 with this.
Oh
as
yeah,
a
that's
+3.
you're going to be wounding on a 2.
Rerolling the 1s due to Plague Weapon, of course.
Yep. A 1.
Which is pretty fortunate in this case. Alright, so that is a -3 AP weapon.
Okay. Does how much damage?
2 in total.
Okay, well, he has a Rosarius, so he is fine. Yeah, makes it. Yeah.
Alright, so we'll continue on with the Plague Champion's attacks.
Plague Champion, he's like, my faith in the Emperor is what it is. You have nothing on me. In fact, my fanaticism is going to see you defeated. In fact, the guardsmen standing back there watching this are some like, oh my god, he's going to do it. He's going to do it. We can win this. We can survive. We can make our way to Savior Pods and get off this doomed station. Of course, then the champion swings, and he has how many attacks?
He has 5 attacks with his Reaper of Glorious Entropy, another relic that was added due to a requisition point earlier on during the list generation.
Now, this is a Crusade relic, and that allows you to do what?
This is actually a standard relic granted by a Crusade list option requisition, which
Okay.
allows a unit to be upgraded with one of your stratagems that is normally deployed before a game. In Crusade, those can't normally be used unless you spend the requisition point.
Okay, so you spent the requisition points to upgrade them. So, all right, what we got?
So, unfortunately, this doesn't have a scythe capability, it just has a standard melee attack style. So we have 5 attacks.
Okay.
These will be hitting on 2s, of which only 4 hit.
Okay.
Now this is a little more in the veins of a Power Fist or a Thunder Hammer, in that it's a ×2 strength weapon.
So wounding on 2s.
Yep, and still Plague Weapon like most stuff in the Death Guard arsenal.
Alright, so re-rolling one of them. So 4 wounds.
Plus, in addition, since that wound roll was a 6, it inflicts a mortal wound.
Okay, so he takes 1 mortal wound. However, the 4 normal are, well, doesn't matter.
AP -3, so Rosarius.
He is going with his Rosarius. And they do how much damage?
3 damage apiece on that one.
That is more than enough. He failed 2. I could re-roll one of them. However, that still would leave 3 wounds getting through, and he is a 4-wound model, and he just had already taken a mortal wound. So, with the swing of the scythe, Reverend Farouk is removed from the station. So, in the Death Guard movement, they proceeded to move up, take that objective, and they are then spending an action on the 1 corpse pile, while the Gallows men advanced on the Guardsmen, and Lord Usharabi is locked in combat. And we're going to start with the action. They're going to attempt to raise the dead. They're spending all their points on this, so they get 2d6 and score 1 point. So 7. And so, by performing that action, as you can see, a group of zombies have now appeared, Poxwalkers. And as our local Death Guard player, I have a simple question for you. Besides the horror of having these things shambling around inside this asteroid battle station, do the Death Guard actually tend to use Poxwalkers and the like as almost like mobile minefields inside defensive facilities? Is it a defensive trait that they normally use, do you think? Or
Now, the Poxwalkers are more tend to be used by companies like the First Company or other more esoteric, let's call them, or ground-based commands. They're often used as, of course, meat shields, similar to the PDF.
But your company will occasionally use these as almost like mobile minefields and defense.
They'll be raised to essentially, basically act as just distractions, confusion, especially when taking ships or stations.
Okay, so they're just to add to the terror of the event and further collapse morale and the like. All right, and with that, why don't we get on to the shooting? All right, so the Gallows men are going to take their 2 Plague Spurt gauntlets and try to hose down that PDF squad behind the barrier.
3, actually. The champion is armed with 2.
The champion's armed with 2. Okay. So, 3 of them.
It is an optional upgrade for him.
Wow. 5, 5, 5. 15 hits. Okay.
I have to say, they're definitely
I am
shooting well this game.
Now, do they ignore cover?
Now, they don't take a penalty to hit. If it is hard cover, it would add to the armor save rule.
Would you rule that these sheet metal barricades that they have set up would be hard cover or not?
I would state that I would give it to them as they are set up almost in a line defense.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. Even though it's sheet metal, it is kind of, well, we don't know if it could have some steel bracing, and it is set up like a defense line, so we're going to treat it as such. Okay. So go ahead, make your wound rolls. These are what, strength 3?
Yep, these are strength 3.
So wounding on 4s.
However, you are within contagion range at this point.
Okay. So that would be wounding on 3s.
3s instead.
3s to wound.
And as a plague weapon, once again, are my
Re-rolling
familiar
ones.
refrain.
Yep. And
We
looks
do
like
have a number of 2s to knock out, though.
yeah, but we have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10 saves with an additional +1 to their roll.
All right, so 4 up. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of the guardsmen are killed in the ensuing blast. And then I take it you are declaring a charge?
Yes, to continue to inflict panic and as much casualties as possible, we are going to charge the full strength unit.
Okay, they are going to Overwatch. So here they come. Nothing with the plasma gun. Actually, the plasma gun does do its thing. However, we're spending our last command point, and the rest are all throwing grenades. Using grenadiers.
Sounds sound enough to me.
7, 8, 9. So, there will be a grand total of 12, 18, 20, 30, 35 shots. And we're just going to... Here's 5. First 5, nothing. And then we'll roll them in groups of 10. So this 3 times. First group, 2 hits. Second group, 4, so 6 hits. And one more, 7 hits. Wounding on 5s. We have 2 wounds.
All right. A wound gets through, dropping one of the Lord, or the Death Shroud Terminators.
Throwing grenades, they managed to kill one.
I believe your plasma gun had yet to fire.
He missed with both shots. And you are now, let's see if you make your charge. Oh, what a shock. With a 6, you're in. Actually, a 7. Actually, an 8 because of the scenario giving you an extra boost as well. So here we have the first fight. And which fight do you want to do first as far as sequence orders?
I think we can do that one first.
Okay.
As fortunately for the guardsmen, it is a lot harder for me to get through you quickly with just the champion alone.
Okay, so the champion is going to swing versus the guardsman.
Yep. We have 5 attacks, hitting on 2s. 4 hits.
Okay.
We will also be wounding on 2s, plague weapon, rerolling 1s.
Okay, 4 wounds. AP is...
-3.
So there goes 4 guardsmen. Now, the guardsmen are going to swing back. We're going to just do this now. Yes, I know, for those who want to nitpick, yes, we're not doing it in the proper order. I'm not going to interrupt his other actions. He knows it. I know it. We're playing for fun. This is part of the joy of playing narratively. So, we have the sergeant with 2 attacks, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. Woohoo! We got 7 whole attacks coming in. As they try to bayonet the Death Shroud Terminator in the balls. We got 3 hits, needing 5s, 1 wound.
All right. We will make our save attempt.
And he's fine. Now, they are going to need a leadership check. They are down 4, 8, and they are only leadership 7, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So they fail the leadership check, so one of them is gone right off the bat. And the rest will need checks for attrition and the like. And 1 more goes as well. So, yeah, this has been tough on them. This has been very tough, as a few more have been cut down fighting against Death Shroud. All right, Ushirabi the Winnower gets to swing first, and he's got 1 servitor and 1 tech priest.
Yep. We're going to split your attacks. You're going to use the Ferryman's Scythe in cleave mode this time.
Okay. Hold on. Go ahead and make his attacks.
All right. First up, against the servitor, we'll be taking 2 swings.
Okay.
They would normally hit on 2s, but because we're using the cleave function of his scythe, it's on 3s.
Okay. 1 hit.
All right. The strength on this is strength 7.
2s to wound.
And that is minus 3 AP.
And let's see here. He has a 6-up invulnerable save, which he failed with a 5.
So he takes 2 damage.
And he is only 1 wound, so that leaves just the Tech Priest versus Usharabi the Winnower.
The remaining 3 swings will be going on him. Once again, hitting on 3s instead of 2s. All 3 of those hit. It will be a strength 7 to toughness 3, I believe.
3 because of your abilities, yes.
Alright, so that would push us to 2s,
Yep.
of which all 3 wound.
Okay. And he has Bionics. Wow!
Now that is a
5,
squeezing.
5, and 6. And he has a 5-up invuln save. So shockingly, against all odds, he has survived, and now he's swinging back. He says, hey, you missed me. Here, like my servo arm? He hit. He wounded at minus 2.
Alright, this is a 4+ save.
Made it. Oh, lucky.
How about your axe swing?
Yeah, well, he takes that axe, swings it low, and catches part of the barricade as he's swinging, and some of the wreckage of other servitors, which throws the axe off just enough for you to swing yourself out of the way, so that fight continues. So, now we go to the Imperial Guard turn. So, the Guard did not move. However, the Primera Psyker Valence looks over at that Death Shroud Terminator and is going to use Smite. 5 for Smite?
5 will succeed on a smite.
5 succeeds on a Smite and does 1 mortal wound. Actually, you know what? We're going to spend our command point. 3 mortal wounds.
Alright. That should be enough to zap them, as I believe those are applied individually.
Yep, and so he has rallied the defenders. And now it is time for that guard squad to open up on those oncoming zombies. That's right, they're not afraid of them. Here comes the 4 lasgun and 1 las pistol shot into the zombies. We've got 2 hits. Okay, they're a little rattled, having been covered with gore as the scanners mode popped the head of the champion. However, 2 wounds on the zombies. Yeah!
Alright. Because they are zombies, they have a 6-up.
Yep. So 2 of the zombies go. However, then the plasma gun opens up. However, the plasma gunner is definitely rattled. Mist is just kind of spraying the area. However, the other squad looks at the oncoming horde of Death Guard and decides they're going to open up on them. So here come the lasgun shots into the Death Guard. Yeah, that acid obviously caused a little bit of a fog as it bit into the metal. Kind of really screwed up eyesight.
I suspect we see why they were not part of the portion of the PDF teeth to the Imperial Guard.
Yeah, they scored 1 hit out of 7 lasgun shots, but they wounded. It was a crack shot that did nothing. And then the plasma gunner, he fires twice, hits twice. Whoa, yeah, top of his class there. Strength 7 still would need a 3, not
Correct.
a 2. So one wound.
Alright, that's at a -3, so
Yep.
there is a chance of a save.
Yep.
6-up.
Nope. One of them takes a wound. And from there, we go into close combat. Usharabi, the winnower, has breathed his last. The tech priest engine seer gets that servo arm, winds it up with a great uppercut, and hits. And fails to wound. A 2 will not do it. Because he's now, what, strength... No, he's still strength at 8-4, isn't he?
He's still strength 4, so strength 8 to toughness 5.
Would need a 3, so a 2 will not do it. However, he's got that axe, and he swings! And, oh, he missed. And now things are looking a little grim as Usharabi, the winnower, looks back at him.
He will be swinging back once again in cleave mode. So hitting on 3s.
Okay.
Missed.
Missed.
4.
No, that one was a 3.
It was cocked.
Oh.
Or at least I considered it such.
Okay.
So 1 hit. Wounding on 2s, rerolling 1s.
He wounded. Now. Tech priest. Yes, his bionics have held out. Yeah.
Once again makes the bionic save.
That's right. When they released him from the factory, he was one of a kind. And with that, we go to the Death Guard turn. All right, the Death Guard are obviously very upset. They have yet to finish crushing these defenses. They thought this was going to be a much easier time. So they are enacting some sorcery, and I believe it is the Dead Walk again.
Indeed, we spend a command point. Roll 76s for each 3+. A Poxwalker comes to the unit. So that is 5 in total.
So 5 more Poxwalkers are now joining this unit. As the dead indeed are walking again. And this is a command phase stratagem, is that correct?
Correct.
And then I believe you have another one that you're about to unleash?
Indeed. Also in the command phase, we're going to spend another command point to use diseased effluence.
All right, hold on one second. Let's take a look at... So this diseased effluence, basically what you're saying is that Lord Usharabi, the winnower, is so frustrated by this tech priest, he is he's taking his scythe, opening himself up and bleeding, and unleashing contagion directly into him in an attempt to just drown him out in a mortal wound and choke him to death.
Indeed. He's causing a mortal wound to himself, bringing him down to 2 remaining, to give me a roll on a 2+. An enemy unit would normally suffer 2d3 mortal wounds.
Okay.
However, since the tech priest is a character, he only suffers d3 mortal wounds.
Okay.
So let's see first if we actually hit him with it. 2+.
Hits him. And
So,
he takes D3 mortal wounds. However, he only had 1 wound left, and you dealt 3 of them. So, yeah, you open yourself up. Out comes the acid guts, and, yeah, he's just drowned. In the movement phase, Usharabi, the winnower, advanced on the guardsman, as did the horde of pox-walking zombies. Meanwhile, the Death Guard have advanced on the other remaining guardsman squad, and the Lone Psyker is still back there, and we're about to begin shooting. All right, we're going to start with shooting. The Death Guard are going to open up at the guardsman behind the barricade.
yep, the Oarsmen Blade Marines are going to start with their bolter shots.
Okay, here comes the bolter fire. Luckily, you're going to be -1 to hit, thanks to that barricade.
Yep. So we have 14 shots coming in, normally hitting on 3s, but reduced to 4s.
All right. So a ton of fire is sparking off of those barricades.
So that is 9 hits with the bolters.
Okay, wounding on 3s.
Wounding on 2s, depending on whether or not you're within my contagion range.
I suppose I probably am in your contagion rage, which drops my toughness down from 3 to 2. So yeah, you'll be wounding on 2s. Luckily, these are not plague weapons.
Oh, now that will be 7 saves that will need to be made.
All
and
right.
they do get a +1 to their saving throws due to be behind dense cover.
All right. So behind the armor, and oh yeah, we also got a tire chained onto the front too. So let's see what happens. So behind the cover, does the cover save them? It does not. It didn't do them any good. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them die. So 1 is still left, but then I believe you're going to open fire with plasma weaponry.
Indeed. We are not going to overcharge them, as there's little need this time around.
Oh, I think overcharging them sounds like a grand idea at this point.
In context, I am a player who had all 3 plasma guns poof boots in the same round of firing in a previous game.
And
We have 2 hits, of which 1 wounds.
that's -3, so yeah, they're just gone. Hail of gunfire takes care of that squad. So Lord Usharabi, the winnower, is about to throw a grenade at the other guardsman.
Yep,
So-
it is the Orb of Desiccation, a once per battle grenade.
Okay, the Orb of Desiccation.
Yep, it is a 3d3 shot grenade.
Okay,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attempted attacks,
okay, 7 attacks.
hitting on 2+.
Okay,
So 6 hits.
okay.
This is a strength 4 AP -1 weapon.
I'll be wounding on 2 since my toughness would go from 3 to a 2 because of contagion.
Yep. And it is a plague weapon, so we're rerolling 1s. So 5 saves at -1 will need to be made.
So 5 6-up saves.
Of which 1 is made.
Which all 4 of them are just bowled over by the Orb of Desiccation. Okay, so Primaris Psyker Valiant is the last one left. And so he goes racing forward. He has decided that even if he should die, and he is definitely doomed to die here, he is not going without taking out the architect of this disaster. He gets off a smite, runs up, looks at him, smite, and does 2 wounds.
Indeed. That is enough to drop Usharabi for this game.
So he takes out Usharabi. However, he is not done yet. In the shooting phase, he looks at the zombies, pulls his pistol, and opens fire. Hitting one and wounding him. Did he take out one of the...
Zombies?
Yep.
Indeed.
Well, he's not done yet, because he is going out in a blaze of glory. He is charging the zombies, the charge of 8. He's right in their midst. He has a force staff. He has three base attacks. And he is strength 5 with the force staff, but first he's got to hit. Hits twice, strength 5, wounds twice at -1, and each one does D3. So
6-up zombie save.
Yep.
Both fail.
chops down 2 of the zombies. However, they consolidate in, and they begin their swings.
Nurgle's lucky number appears to remain, as there are 7 zombies there.
All right. Let's see how this game ends.
They will be swinging with a grand total of 14 attacks back,
Okay.
hitting on 4s,
Ooh. That's 5.
5 hits.
All right. Oh my God, he's got 4 wounds.
And strength 3 to toughness.
3.
Is that reduced by contagion?
No, 2. So yeah, you're wounding on 3s. 4 wounds. Now, here's the thing. He has a 5-up armor save. He has no additional things. And he has 4 wounds. Just need 1 5-up. Made 1. He's badly wounded, but he's still alive. But it comes down to your turn, so the zombies swing again.
Yeah, I think we'll have the Plague Marines try to...
He's kind of bogged down. Have the zombies finish him off.
Yeah, we could.
He's badly hurt. He's bitten. He's already dead. He just doesn't know it yet. In fact, he's going to be undead. And all his efforts were for naught. Well, not exactly. He did manage to, badly wound Usharabi the Winnower. Maybe even gave him a battle scar. We'll find out here in a minute.
All right. That is 5 more saves needed.
And as they grab him and pull him down, they begin chanting, "One of us, one of us, one of us, one of us," because that is it for him. The station has fallen. Now, over Thrios, it would appear that the Death Guard have a defense battery that can rain down fire and enable them to better enact a planet strike. So, as far as the crusade goes, your Death Guard Marines, this is their second battle they survived, so they are at 2 experience points. They killed 1 unit, but they need 3 units to gain another XP, so not much happens to them. So, the Death Shroud Terminators, the Gallowsmen. Now, they survived another battle, so that's another experience point. They killed how many units?
They killed 3 units over the course of that battle.
So they've gained 1 more, so that puts their total up to what?
That puts their total up to 10, I believe.
Okay, so they'll be able to gain another battle honor. However,
Not quite. 11.
They need 11 for the next one. Okay, however, they got killed this battle, or wounded, so let's roll a dice on a 1. Nope, you got a 4. On a 1, they would have taken a battle scar. But you could also get rid of that battle scar with a requisition point, which is...
Right.
You're also going to be gaining a requisition point for this battle.
And for those not familiar with it, you have the option of giving them a battle scar, which is a penalty to them in some way, or a sacrifice of experience points and losing their XP from this battle.
Which could also result in the loss of some of their newfound abilities.
Indeed.
All right. Now we have Usharabi the Winnower. Now, he had quite the game. He killed the most units, so he gains 3 XP for that. He also is the MVP of the game, so he gains 3 for that. So that's 6, and this is his second game he survived, so he gains 1. That's 8. And then I believe he killed 3 units, so that's another
Indeed.
1. So he's at, 9 total?
Yep, he has now been pushed up to being blooded.
So he is going to gain a battle trait or crusade honor that he can then take. You can choose either from the stuff in your book, from in the main rule book, and since we are, part of the Caradon Crusade, you can pick up stuff from either Plague Purge or pretty much anything in the Caradon Warzone books as far as battle traits and relics, as long as they tie to Thrios or can be tied to that. However, he fell.
He does need to make his roll, out of
All right.
action roll.
His out of action roll is a 3, so he does not suffer any battle scars. He's actually doing fine. Any idea what you're going to give him for a battle trait, or you haven't even thought about it yet?
There are some options that are being mulled over, but I think we'll finalize it for the next time you guys see them.
Okay, now the next fight we probably will not be seeing them because you'll be using other forces from your crusade list.
Indeed. You'll be able to see the other 25 point half of the 50 point initial list.
Okay, yeah, and at some point here we should actually probably shoot a video showing your whole crusade list as it stands after that next game. That way people get a sense of the full scope of it, including what you've done with all your requisition points.
Indeed.
So, thank you very much for the game, Mr. Holte. That was excellent. Thank you much. I enjoyed it very much, and for all of you watching at home, I hope you've liked this. If you do, please hit that like button and hit subscribe to watch further games set in this campaign. All right, thank you much.